Hello, it's Meg. I'm gonna do 10 decks for life. A VR to Simon at the Hermit's Cave. I have filmed this video 3 times already. And since then, I've misplaced one of the decks. Well, I'll talk about that one first. So I actually archive decks. I have the deck is the Next World Tarot. I would never get rid of it. There are many decks that I would just never ever get rid of, but I might not use them again, which is there's a few in this one, in this category, I guess, or this video. And the Next World Tarot is one of those decks. I do have, so the bigger one is the one that I have archived, and that one I don't use. I have the smaller version, and that one's in Tarot Club, and that one I use at Tarot Club sometimes. And I like to have that one around for people because I think it's a really cool deck. It is, but it has so many memories, and like times tied to it. And I think as my collection got bigger, that became less of a thing that was like an issue, which I really like. Excuse me. Like I still have a lot of memories and things with a lot of my decks. But it's more like pleasant, and maybe it's just a different time in my life too. But I don't know, that deck, I think it was really lonely. I guess I don't know, it's very intense for me, and it was a gift. It was a gift from my best friend many years ago. The indie, it was before it was mass market, the indie version. So yeah, that's the first one, which not pictured. I actually did grab a deck that could be a stand-in, so we are looking at 10 decks. But I guess I could show that one. I kind of wanted to go chronological, but I didn't start with the first. I started with that one. So anyway, this is the one that was going to be the stand-in. So this is like the one that snuck in, I guess, is like as a deck that I would never get rid of. I really like this deck. I feel like this deck changed. I could say that about a few decks, but there are these decks that like when I get them, I also sort of like fall in love with like the whole process of its creation and the person who made them too. Like just, I guess there's a few of those on this one too. But the difference is that these people are living still. And it would be this one and Daydreaming in C2. Like, I just really admire these people as artists. And the Ephemeral Tarot is the other one too. I think when I first filmed this video, I included those ones, and this one, I don't know, I just really love this deck. And I think that he's really made it, he's really like synthesized tarot. Also, there's something about it too that makes me feel it's like spiritual path tarot. The reason I bring that up is because I was watching Imogen's Sapling Tarot's A to Z tarot tubers A to Z, which reminded me I need to film that also earlier. I think this is not the first time I watched that video also. I think I really like Imogen's channel, and I'll watch their videos like just, you know, randomly. Rewatch them, I guess, too. But in it, there's the discussion of like tarot not as a spiritual practice. And for me, this is like tarot as, it's not even like a spiritual practice, but I guess it's like a beliefs versus experiences thing, which, you know, not having beliefs, but having experiences. And this mirrors that, I guess. Also mirroring something that like I know, but haven't experienced kind of thing. You know? I don't really know how to elaborate on that. I love this deck. I have several copies of it too. They're all over the place. And I keep it in this bag that my friend Rachel made. Lovely. Okay. I think that she also keeps hers in a matching bag, which makes me very happy. Okay, so the next one, I do kind of, maybe I'll go chronological. So that one was like a stand-in for not seeing the Next World Tarot. And then the first deck I'm going to show is the Medieval Scapini. So this deck I actually don't really use ever, but this is my first tarot deck. Not my first deck, but my first tarot deck. It's so beautiful and I want to use it someday. I'm sure I will. I might have to like get a different copy of it, honestly. This was a gift from a woman that I babysat for when I was like 19, and maybe I was a little older than that. Maybe I was like 20. But she was so cool, and I really love this deck. It really is so beautiful. I think it was a really difficult deck to like learn on, like as someone's first deck. For me, it was. I had this deck and Tarot Classic, the book, and then my next tarot book was I've talked about this a million times. I had really odd tarot books because I would just buy whatever tarot book was at like the thrift store or like the used bookstore, and there wasn't like tons of tarot books then. It was like the Voyager tarot book and then this other book that I've mentioned before. I gave it to a friend of mine. And I see it all the time. I'll take a picture of it sometime and then I won't forget because it'll be in the files. And then after that, it was the Alejandro Jodorowsky tarot book. So I guess I kind of like learned Marseille. But in between the two Marseille books, I had the Voyager tarot book and this other book, and the deck that I had is the one that I'm going to show next. So I would never get rid of this deck. It is kind of archived. So this one is another one that's archived, along with the Next World Tarot, which we discussed. And the next deck is the chronological deck that I learned on next. I shoplifted this deck from a store. Not this particular copy. I had like trimmed my version of this because it was like gross on the edges sometime in like 2020 or something like that. When I was like, oh, we can do that? And then I regretted it. Ugh, gosh, it's so annoying. But I repurchased, and this is, I don't know. It's my preference for the RWS, the main sort of RWS ones. Also, the cardstock is fantastic. What year is this? This one's 2003. Which, yeah, this is, you know, I would have gotten this deck after 2003 also. I shoplifted it from a store that was like, it was a pet supply store, and like a random, it was so random. It was pet supplies, and then in the back they sold like crystals and tarot decks and like vintage clothing, and I stole this tarot deck. Ugh, whatever. Anyway, I probably shouldn't tell people that anymore. I was just a little punk. I don't know. Like, I was just a... Anyway. RWS Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith. I love it. I'll never get rid of it. I got another one, actually. I actually should probably get another one just in case they stop making them, or, I don't know, make the cardstock bad or something horrible like that. The next deck... Oh, I'm missing one, aren't I? No, it's there. Okay. Wow, it's... Oh, yeah, that's right. I have too many. Daughters of the Moon Tarot. This is an archive deck as well. Every time I look at this deck, I'm like, well, maybe, actually, maybe I do want to use this deck. And then I never do. I think I need to wait a lot longer for this to be okay. This one's sort of in the next world zone where I was using it so much. And I cool. It was a friend had this deck and we used it constantly all the time, and it was before like the Wild Unknown and before all those decks, because then after that all my friends had those decks, and then so those also have like a really big sort of like connection to early tarot for me, but I never got them because I did eventually get the Wild Unknown decks, but I didn't get them then because I was like, my friends have them. I don't need to, you know, I don't need to have these. I use them when I'm here, which was like all the time. Something really fun about that phase in life. But I don't know. I don't use this deck anymore. I won't. I don't want to, I don't think. I always think I do occasionally, but it's definitely just an archived deck. It's really cool. And it's just too many associations, I guess, for it to be something that I want to get into or to use. But yeah, I would never get rid of it. I would always stay somewhere nearby. The other deck that's like that is the Mother Peace. Okay, so this one's like a little bit different than that. So I actually got this deck before. This is not the copy either. I had to repurchase it recently because I couldn't find it, which I hate for me because this cardstock is different. When I was trying to find Daughters of the Moon, I looked up Feminist Circle deck and this came up and I was like, okay, yeah. And then I got it and I was like, that's not the one. So I've had this deck for a really long time, but I didn't really use it the same way that I used the other one. So I didn't really develop a lot of those associations. It was more sporadic and and less intense. So in that sense, it was like, it's just a positive association. I don't know. I really like this deck a lot and I've been using it recently. I mentioned it to a friend and they told me about the bigger book for it, and I didn't have that one. I have like a bunch of other books to go along with this deck, which is another reason I think I would want to keep it. But I recently got that book and I've been reading some of the passages, just like pulling one card and reading a little bit. It's like the bigger one that has a blue cover. Oh my gosh, I love that. I don't know, it's weird. This is so pretty. This one is also good. I like it. There's a time and a place. And for me, it's here and now. It kind of reminds me of like, I don't know. Anyway, I like that. All right. The next deck is the Elf of Heaven Tarot. And the reason I would never get rid of this deck is because both times, well, no, hold on. I feel like this is so personal. Oh my gosh, these decks are so personal. Everything's so personal, you know? This is the deck that I was using. I can't remember any other deck at the time that I was using, but I remember this deck. This is the deck that I was using when I found out that I was going to become a mom. And I pulled the same day I pulled other cards too. I don't remember what they were, but I just remember Empress and the Four of Wands. And then the second time I was becoming a mother, I also pulled, here it is, the Four of Wands that day too. So watch out for the Four of Wands. But I don't know. I mean, I would never get rid of this deck anyway because I think it's really cool and beautiful. And also like difficult to get. I think this is a facsimile, and I got this on Etsy for like $20 or something like that, like years ago, and now even a facsimile is crazy. But I don't know anything. I never saw the deck before, so I don't know if it's not real. It's tarot sized and comes in a box. I don't know, it seems real to me, but I would there are tons of decks too that I would, 10 decks for life that I would keep for life because I adore them, and then I also can't replace them. But I really love this deck, and it has that like that association, and I'm so grateful. I love it. Yeah, it feels cringe to be like, I'm an emotional human being. Here's another one. Why not? Navigator's Tarot, the Mystic Sea. I have 2 copies of this deck, which I always mention when I bring out this deck. The other copy that I have is trimmed, and that was the first one that I got. And this is the one that I got to use sort of more regularly. When I got this deck in, I think it was at the end of 2020, I was so excited about it. And my friend was gonna come visit, and I was gonna show him this deck because I thought he would really like it, and it reminded me of him. It reminds me of him. And then he died. So I didn't use this deck for a really long time. And this deck is forever like associated with this person for me. But specifically the one that I trimmed the borders of, because I might have had the deck for a while, but I was like sort of excited about it or something, and had trimmed it, and I don't know. Anyway, there is something very him about this. Also very, sort of 70s surrealist, 60s, 70s surrealist cartoons, foreign cartoon or something happening, which is also very cool. But yeah, it is sort of difficult, and it kind of, I don't know, sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not, you know what I mean? I think we all know what I mean if we've lost someone we love dearly, deeply. Sometimes it's okay, and sometimes it's not okay. All right, the next deck is the Sacred Rose Tarot deck. This is just one of my favorite decks, so it kind of maybe is a touch point for all of those decks that would be categorized in these are my favorites. I actually recently bought the book that goes with it, which is not like special or interesting. I just wanted to have it because I love the deck so much. This is a vintage copy. I have a backup that is the newer copy. This was a gift. This was a push present from one of my friends for my first child, and I love it. It reads so well. It reads so well. For me. And I think it's beautiful. It's one of my favorite decks. I'd never get rid of it for several reasons. The emotional aspect of it being connected with, a birth and a gift from a friend of mine that means a lot to me. And I also think it's pretty. There's a lot of reasons to keep your decks, guys. Forever and ever and ever. It's so cool. I love it. But yes, this is like, I keep saying that I'm going to make this video, and I think I should, but I want to make a video that's like, these are my go-to decks, like my fallback decks. Some of them are featured in this video. This is one of them, and this next one is also a fallback deck. It's like, if I just don't even know what I want to wear, this is what I'll wear, but it's using tarot. So the next one is the Mary L Tarot. This is the first edition, which is my preference. I've had this deck since It was mass market, and I do have a backup of the first edition also, because it is one of my favorite decks. And something about having children makes one want to have some backups of certain decks, just because of, like, I don't know, being aware of chaos and destruction in a more very acute way, I guess. But I really love this deck. I remember when I got this deck, anyone who came to my house, I was like, hello. And then I would make them listen to me, and like I would pull cards and I would read from the guidebook, and I would be like, isn't this incredible? Like, I didn't really know that, like, at the time, that tarot decks could be like this, I guess, or that tarot books could be like that, guidebooks. Also, I heard a rumor that she's publishing a book about this deck. Is that true? Also, look how crazy this border is. That's crazy. On the Tower card, nice. Yeah, I love this deck so much. I've been using it a lot lately. I actually just stopped. I was using this for daily draws for a while, and I set it aside, and I'm a little sad about that, but it's amazing. And I would never get rid of it. I have two. I also do have a copy of the second edition somewhere. I don't know that I have it? I do somewhere. I need to put that into Tarot Club though, because I'm not really interested. I don't like the second edition. The titles are on the card. It's like harder to see. You can't really see it. It's hard to see, but it's also like, I want to look at the artwork, and the black frame just really, I think, really does something for it, because they're so intense and like intricate and amazing. What a beautiful creation. I hope the rumors are true. I want a book. I want more. I want more. Okay, the last deck. I should have saved this one for the last. I don't know. But the last deck is one of my favorite decks also. I mean, these all are... I love all my decks, really. It's hard to choose. Ethel Cahoon's Tarot's Color. This is one of my favorite decks. Also, I have like 4 copies of this deck. What the... I literally do. Maybe just 3, I don't know. And I want more. It's used in a very specific way for me, and also I love Ethel Cahoon. So one of the reasons I love this deck too is it introduced me to her, and I love her so much. I have a framed photo of her, picture of her in my space. The way that I kind of like try to explain it too, especially for people who don't have like I have a relationship to like yoga lineages or practices, and in those practices, teachers are very important, gurus. But another way that I like to think about it, besides her being a teacher, is like an ancestor. So like in a queer community, right, like people have chosen family. Like we have family. I'm not saying that, like, just in general, people, we have family, and we have our chosen family, our friends, our community, people that we decide to spend time with. And those people too, I think, can become our ancestors. So we have, you know, I view her as a magical ancestor, I guess. So devotion and veneration and connection with her is a part of an ancestral practice for me. And also, I feel that way too about deities a lot of the time too, that it's, you know, these are magical ancestors. These are like, as a way to conceptualize like a practice with it. People have a difficulty too with like an idea of devotion or worship. I don't, but personally. But anyway, Ethel Cahoon is like I think she's incredible. I think she's really, really cool. And I have all of her books except for the tarot book, the book that goes with this tarot deck, because I didn't know at the time that it would be like that, so I didn't get it. Whoopsie daisies. Hopefully someday they reprint it, because it's quite expensive now. But I love her so much. I could get emotional about it actually, but I do have a picture of her in my room. It used to be on my ancestral altar, but I moved it to another space in my room that's like a sort of a devotional like cupboard, I guess. Oh man, this video, it's so hard to like talk about stuff. But she's amazing. She's so cool and I love her work. I also just like, you know, everything I've read that she's written is like, I don't know. And then read about her too. Amy Hale is like the person who's sort of a scholar about Ethel Calhoun, and she'll like host these random talks about her, which I've gone to, especially when I had more time. This is one of my favorite cards. And then I like one time I think I messaged her. I was like, oh my god, like I thank you so much for the talk. I love her so much, and blah blah blah. And there, it seems like a thing. It seems like there's like a following, and it's really really cool. But I love her, and I love this deck, and I draw a card from it almost every day. But I don't like keep it out, and I don't like shuffle the cards really. Once in a while I'll do like a massive like laying them out and like shuffling them like this. Because I can't shuffle it this way. I would love, and I've talked about this before, and some people have offered to help me, which is really awesome, but I want to make a smaller version for myself that I can take with me, but I haven't had time. I actually think about, I need to email someone back. Actually, I need to email someone back about that. I think about it all the time. But then it just falls right out of my brain and is replaced with like, what do you want for lunch? You know, like whatever. In what order do we wrangle these children to get them to the next place? Anyway, very important to me. I have her other, the other sort of like deck, I guess, that has, hold on. This is going to take a sec for me to climb over this mound of decks to go squeeze into my closet and open a drawer to get this thing. I hope it's in this drawer that I'm thinking of. Because I don't know if I've shown this or if you guys have seen this. Hold on. Okay, this is so easy. All right. Here we go. I can't really pan out though, so we're gonna have to just deal. We're just gonna deal with it. All right, here it is. It's it opens like that. And hold on, this way. It's the Decad of Intelligence, Ethel Calhoun. So it has these poems. It's the Tree of Life. So the different Sephira. And then there's poems that go with them that she did. And then here are these like, they were enamel like the cards are, but they're these big cardboard. This one's a little bit worn, but I think it does look like that in the image too. Yeah. Maybe not as bad. This is fun. I've never shown, I don't think I've shown this before. So they have different titles. Hold on. All right, let's do it. I'll show you. I'm not going to show the whole thing, maybe. So, Admirable or Hidden Intelligence, Kether. Illuminating Intelligence, Hokmah. Sanctifying Intelligence, Binah. Sorry, the lighting's bad. I'm so excited right now. Cohesive or Receptacle Intelligence, Hesed. Radical Intelligence, Gibora. Sorry if I'm not saying these right. I also don't like saying this stuff out loud because it feels like, I don't know, like magical, like words have power. You know what I'm saying? Intelligence of the mediating influence, Teferath. Now I'm getting nervous. Occult intelligence. I'm not going to say them anymore. What's that? Absolute or perfect intelligence, Hod. Hold on. Pure or clear intelligence. And then resplendent intelligence. And they're like really thick and they smell weird. They smell funky. They smell like the wood paneling in the daycare that I went to when I was a kid. Anyway, that's this. My queen. I would love to scan these and make a poster. That would be sick. Who's with me? Anyway, that's 10 decks I would never get rid of. Plus a bonus deck because I couldn't show one of them, so still 10. And then plus a bonus deck of cardboard Tree of Life Sephiroth deck. Okay, alright, bye.